Welcome back to another episode of High and Low Takes. I go by the name Ayo Mike. Look, let's just jump straight into it. Hard Knocks episode 2 was crazy. It's crazy. It was a little slight, but we seen a little spiciness in there, with Saquon Barkley and Joe Shane, but we just jumped straight off in the middle of it, right in the beginning of it. When they got the 255 million cap space, they got some extra cap space to move around with some players. So we thought that, Joe Shane thought too, is Joe Shane thought that we was going to be able to get Saquon back and be able to match the offer and things of that nature. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, but with the cap space, it gave us opportunity to sign more offensive linemen, sign more defensive players, get Brian Burns and get him to that big contract, of course, because he was going to need that contract extension. So, and it helped out. It worked out. So the 255 million cap space was crazy. That was good. That helped us out. They gave us a look at the draft and how the draft went. And when they looked at the players, and in my opinion, I feel like Brian Daboll liked Drake May and Jaden Daniels the most. Look, we didn't have no chance at getting Caleb Williams. I mean, we had no chance at all at getting Caleb, but I think they was like, you know what, let's just bring him in to be able to see what he can do, just in case some Hail Mary happens. If Chicago wanted to trade out, the Giants can jump up, but that wasn't happening, so Caleb Williams was an afterthought. We was not getting him, now. This shows you right here that Michael Penix Jr. was not an option for the Giants. And I believe it was mainly because of his injury history. Daniel Jones had the injury history, and that's just something that the Maras and also Joe Shane, Brian Daboll did not want to risk. Even though his talent is good and he has the talent, I think he just didn't show up as far as on the health scale that they wanted, so that was the main thing. I think the Giants, we didn't even give him a look. Like, I don't know if they just didn't show us that or they just didn't give us a chance to even, they didn't even give him a chance to even get a look. So when we looked at Drake May, he caught the plays back. Jaden Daniels messed up on one small spot, but Brian Daboll is a tough coach, as you can see, he coached up a lot of quarterbacks, Tua, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, so he's been around great quarterbacks even before when he was earlier in his career when he was starting coaching up. So it's been a great career for Brian Daboll so far. So we looked at these coaches and we looked at these quarterbacks, so the quarterbacks, of that nature, we had to look at all the quarterbacks at the end of the day. We couldn't get any of them. We couldn't get any quarterbacks. It's like we looked at all those quarterbacks for no reason. Now, Joe Shane went inside. He went inside of the New England's draft room, the draft room, like the scouting room, of course. He went inside that room, but then in the day, that New England said they got a lot of people calling for this pick. What you willing to come up and get it? But I think New England at the end of the day, they entertained everybody's offer, but they needed a quarterback. They wasn't doing anything. They wasn't doing anything. They needed a quarterback. No Zappy, no Mac Jones. Like they needed a quarterback, and that's who they wanted. So that's who they got. They got Drake May. So hopefully, Drake may turn out to be something. You never know. So I'm not mad about it. I wasn't too high on Drake May. I was only high on Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels. So we'll see what happens. You will see what happens when it comes to Jaden Daniels, in the season, because we play him twice a year, so it's going to be fun. We'll see what's going to happen with that. Now, you can see even at the combine, we brought in the top 3 wide receivers. We brought in Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, and man, they all fit the team perfectly. I believe Malik Neighbors fitted the best. He fit the team the best, because you got to look at the LSU wide receiver history, and they know how to breed wide receivers. That's one thing LSU know how to do. And Brian Daboll was just like, you know what, man, I love Neighbors. He loved Neighbors, so Daniel Jones loved Neighbors too. But I don't know how much Daniel Jones going to love him if he don't get that ball. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. So we got Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors tested well. He was good, so at the end of the day, he didn't do all the things in the combine, of course. Rome Odunze did. Marvin Harrison, we know he didn't do anything, but you see how he was, I would consider him very confident. Marvin Harrison Jr., very confident. He was confident in who he is as a player, who he is as a personality, his test results, and also too at the same time, like he told the coaching staff, like, man, I came to play football. Like, you seen my football and I'm not working out because you seen my football tape. Now, they cut that short. We don't know what else happened behind the scenes with that, but that's what happened with that. As far as Rome Odunze, he off the charts. My main thing with Rome Odunze, I didn't see him make separation between the players like how Malik Neighbors would do. Malik Neighbors is like, he's off the charts. He reminds me a little bit of a faster AJ Brown or more slicker AJ Brown, but still like as great as him. But we got to see what happens in the season to see if he can be able to be like AJ Brown, so we'll see what happens with that. So as far as the wide receivers, quarterbacks, we was looking at these top offensive players to change the way the team is going to play. No more offensive linemen. It didn't work out for us in the first round the last couple of years, but Andrew Thomas. We had Eric Flowers, Evan Neal. These things just don't work. But thank God Andrew Thomas was there, and he showed up and he's been great for us. So we'll see what Evan Neal does. We'll see what the other offensive line does. So we'll see what John Michael Schmitz do. We'll see what Evan Neal do. We see what Andrew Thomas. We see what the other two offensive linemen bring. We see what Carmen, the offensive line coach, what he does with the team. Like, I'm excited about this offensive line. And my thing is, if Saquon Barkley had a hard time running behind this offensive line, what is with this new better offensive line? What is Devin Singletary going to do with it? And what is Daniel Jones going to do with a better offensive line? Will he sink or swim? We don't know. And that's what we're going to find out this year. Will Daniel Jones sink or swim behind this new and improved offensive line coach, also two skill positions? Like, will he sink or swim behind this new skill set of all of these offensive inventory? We'll see what happens. Now, I think this season, Daniel Jones is going to face the most pressure in his career ever. More pressure than he faced from a snap, more pressure than he faced from all 12 men running at him, more pressure than he faced from his ACL injury, more pressure than he faced from the fans. He's facing the most pressure this year because he's getting all of the heat from all of that coming towards him this season. From the defensive players, from his offensive players if he ain't playing good, from his fans, from his friends, from his family. Look, there's going to be everybody gunning at Daniel Jones if he don't play right this year. If he do not play well, if he does not play well, it's going to be hard for him. So I'm slightly optimistic about Daniel Jones right now. So this is going to be the most heat Daniel Jones ever faced this season. From all the seasons he's been in the NFL, when he was getting sacked, when he was fumbling, when he was throwing pick sixes everywhere. This is going to be the most heat he ever faced, from the defensive line, from the offensive line, from the skill positions, from the coaches, from the fans, friends, family. Look, everybody going to be coming at Daniel Jones if he do not play well this season. Am I optimistic about Daniel Jones? Slightly, only because the situation around him has improved. But even when the situation around him improved in previous seasons for a snap or two, or even for a series or two, he didn't give me nothing to really believe in. I couldn't really be a believer, so I mean, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens with Daniel Jones this year. Us as Giants fans, we got to be hopeful. We got to be slightly optimistic. We got to be hopeful, wishful thinking, but it is what it is in the season. So we'll see what happens. I think our defense is going to be great, like I always say, but our offense will be improved. I really feel like we will improve on offense in all aspects. At quarterback play, not sure. But I expect big leaps from our wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, the offensive line, running backs. I think we're going to take a slight step back there, because Saquon Barkley's gone, but Saquon Barkley didn't have the best offensive line blocking for him either, so we'll see what Singletary does behind this offensive line. Like I say, he's a good running back. So this Hard Knocks episode, we seen everything behind the curtains. We seen the puppet master. We seen Joe Shane. He got these little puppets with everybody. He got the cap room. He got the coaches. He got the owner. Like, he's really the puppet master. And we seeing how he's pulling all these strings and bringing everything together. My thing is will this be a beautiful masterpiece, or will this be a catastrophe? We don't know. But that's what we're going to find out as these Hard Knocks episodes keep being revealed and as the season goes on. That's the real test when the season comes. How is the team going to perform? How is he going to react upon the team performing? Is he going to make trades? Is he going to go in free agency? Is he going to move on from the quarterback? So we're going to see. We're going to find out. Towards the end of the episode, we've seen a little bit of Saquon Barkley's contract talks with Joe Shane, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was very sad to watch that as a Giants fan. It was very sad. Like, man, it crushed me, bro. It crushed me. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy to watch that. Joe Shane saying, look, man, Saquon, we're going to let you test the market. Like, I appreciate he didn't franchise tag him, but I would much more appreciate it if you signed this, man. But in the day, we're like, I know we need more pieces. We needed pieces, so we had to bring an offensive line. He had to do this. But my thing is like, you got a value player in that position, and he's basing those statistics of saying, hey, running backs aren't valued that much no more because the quarterback play is bigger. But when you got a great quarterback like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, these types of quarterbacks, that's when you really don't need the great running backs. But when you got a quarterback like Daniel Jones, I mean, come on now. That's the reason why Justin Herbert is who he is. But in the day, they didn't need Austin Eckler because Justin Herbert is like a top 10 quarterback. Justin Herbert, really, some people got him top 5. So my thing is like Joe Burrow didn't need Joe Mixon no more. Like, come on now. Like, these are top 5 quarterbacks we're talking about right now. Top 10 quarterbacks. Is Daniel Jones a top 10 quarterback? No, he needs a great running back. He needs a great supporting cast, and not just wide receivers, not just offensive line, but also in the backfield with him. The person that was sharing the ball with him, the person that was bringing him up, the person that was covering his tail the last couple of years. If Saquon Barkley was not on the Giants the last 6 years, Daniel Jones would not be a starting quarterback. Saquon Barkley made Daniel Jones look good. I mean, it is what it is. That's what happened, and now he's gone. The team has improved. In the end of the day, the team stuck with, I'm going to say not the team, I'm going to say this. Joe Shane stuck with who he believed the market appreciates more, which is the quarterback, but not just any quarterback. I'm going to say Daniel Jones, like anybody else was going to jump out there and sign him. I don't think so. I mean, do you think so? Like, nobody else going to sign Daniel Jones. Come on now. He's going to be a second string, third string quarterback if he was picked up anywhere else. Come on. It's not rocket science. It's I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is what it is. But the thing is this. Saquon Barkley felt disrespected. And my thing is, too, as well with Saquon Barkley, I would give it this to Joe Shane. He did try to offer him a great contract. When those contract talks were coming, he did try to offer him a great contract. I believe his agent misread the market. And that's why he fired his agent shortly after and got a new agent and tried to come back to the same contract, but I believe it was gone. Now, I don't know all the intricacies of that, but what I do know is that we did offer him a higher contract during that season, and then at the end of the day, like, he didn't take it. So I believe his agent misread the market. He fired his agent. Later on, we tried to come back. Now the market has lowered, so we didn't sign him. You know what I'm saying? But my thing with Joe Shane and Saquon Barkley, you see that little riff right there when Joe Shane was like, he playing buddy, friend, but Saquon Barkley like, man, look, I'm talking about business right now. Like, what's going on? Joe Shane was like, we're going to let you test the market. But if we let you test the market, are you going to come back? Are you going to come back and let us get an opportunity to match the deal? He said, can you give me your word, Saquon? Can you give me a word? Like, Saquon Barkley felt disrespected. Like, bro, I've been telling you the whole time, I want to be here. I want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is they say like, oh, snap, it was just another $1 million that Philly gave him. So what? If it's just another $1 and they went and he went for it, why couldn't the Giants just come up another $1 million? That just makes no sense. He gave you the opportunity to match it. You didn't want to do it. And you want to leave over $1 million? Man, $1 million? What? Come on now. Us as Giants fans, man, we got to be realistic. Come on now, man. If we are so much bashing Saquon for taking $1 million more, why couldn't we give him $1 million more? We value him. And this top 100 players that Saquon Barkley, some people don't got him in there and stuff like that, but Saquon Barkley gonna be in the top 100 players. It probably just won't be right now in this particular era, but he's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So to not put him there is just asinine. It's stupid. Odell Beckham only played 4 years for the Giants, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be on there. You know what I'm saying? So Saquon Barkley gonna be on there too. You got to put up great Giants. Yes, we didn't accomplish anything. We didn't accomplish great things. I mean, end of the day, we still went to a playoff game and won one. You know what I'm saying? Saquon Barkley was still the best offensive player. Joe Shane said that himself. So we'll see what's going to happen, man, with this next contract talks, these next, as they dive more into it on episode 3. I think they're going to talk about Brian Burns next. So we see what's going to happen, but it's another episode of High and Low Takes. I go by the name Ayo Mike, and I'm out.